And we are back. Brian.
Sir.
I know you're doing all right, man.
I'm doing great, man. How are you? You doing all right? I know you're doing all right.
You ain't got to ask me because that's the name of the show, Bryan Broaddus. We're doing just fine, like always. We're here on this lovely Friday. Preseason football is going on. The Cowboys have a preseason game Sunday. Interesting day, and me and you are going to break down some of the ins and outs of that. But I do want to ask you this, Bryan Broaddus. The Cowboys, this is the second time, and I've never seen them do this a whole bunch, but they've done it twice now. They traded away Kelvin Joseph and they brought back Noah Igbinoghene.
Right.
Now we remove ourselves of Nahshon Wright.
Right.
Before I ask you about Booth, do you think this Nahshon Wright decision comes from a place of, boy, Kalen Carson is tearing it up as a young guy, and these guys are competing, and man, I don't think there's going to be a spot for Nahshon here. Let's just see if we can get something for him. You feeling that's where that comes from? Yeah,
I think you're clearly on to something there. This morning I started my day on Cowboys break, and I made the point. Derek Eagleton asked me the question about, what you saw on this, that, and the other, and the name with Carson was brought up. And I said, listen, if it's me, and it's something that you and I have done quite a bit on our show, is that we don't need to see this guy anymore. Mm-hmm. We don't need to see this guy anymore. We need to see more of this guy. I was to the point where I said, Nahshon Wright's reps need to be Carson's reps, and Carson can give his second team reps to Nahshon Wright. Yeah. And I'm going to figure out a way to get my four best corners. I mean, the work that Jordan Lewis has been able to do in the slot has been commendable. It really has. And he had a tough assignment yesterday dealing with Cooper Kupp. That's not a fun guy to have to deal with all day. He held his own there. But you got Diggs. Now, this is the question we have to ask ourselves. Get Carson ready. If Diggs is slow to the recovery, where things are not going as well as we've seen, now you have a little bit of a safety net there. Yeah. If all of a sudden you're practicing Carson and he's shown up where he's, like yesterday we visited and it was the ball thrown to the flat, he's there for a tackle. Ball thrown in his direction, he's covering a receiver, he's blanketing, interception. He's finding ways to continually make plays. Yeah, they ran by him a couple of times. They have receivers. It happens, or defensive backs. It happens. But this kid, I'm giving him every single rep. Much like we talked about with Guyton. I don't need to see Chuma, even though Chuma is kind of hanging in there, man. They ran the ball until Chuma got the back spasms yesterday. They ran the ball behind Chuma, and I know I can't even look at you when I say it because I know I'm looking for glasses. I know the glasses. Where are the glasses? Yeah, where are the glasses? I can't believe you don't have the glasses on the end of your nose. Oh, there's Phil. When I get home, I'm gonna send you some nails to hang all this stuff up.
I'm gonna get them up there.
Yeah, but the thing with Adoga and Tyler Smith and Hoffman, I don't know. I don't watch the Rams practice every day. I just don't. But there was the thing with Adoga. Yeah, fine. Well, Guyton needs all these reps. Guyton getting sick, man, that was a setback to me because I thought he had the momentum. I thought he had the momentum to the point. And you know what they're starting to do now is even put a little bit more BB in there on some of this stuff. Now, they practiced today. They were in shells. So it was like the under shoulder pads, those little pads they wear with their jerseys and shorts and all that. We kind of got an idea of how they're going to play this game. And Dak Prescott, and I was told this about Dak, this was more about a day off than it was knee or ankle soreness. Yeah, more about a day off than it was. But what they did was they ran cards. So I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a lot of things here.
Please.
But these young guys are going to get opportunities. Yeah. Carson and now this trade to me is like, okay, we're bringing in Booth, who was a second round pick. I guarantee you, Dallas. I'll find out. Dallas probably had him on their board in the 2022 draft, second, third round, maybe. And so this is trading out, just like you talked about, trading a guy out for another guy to kind of see, this guy needs to change the scenery. Your guy needs to change the scenery. Money's similar. Here we go. Let's just trade out a couple players here. So, but anything to put Carson on the field more, count me in.
Was Booth there that last year Zimmer was there?
His first year with the Vikings was 2022. When did Mike get removed? Is this the?
I'm terrible with dates. I'm horrible with those. But I'm just trying to make sense of everything. Just me.
Well, let's see. I mean, we don't have to guess. You figure that I did about 17 shows today, and you figure I would have looked that up at one time. Let's see when Mike Zimmer lost his job.
When did Michael Antoine Zimmer get fired? I'll let you figure that out. But just me thinking back on Booth, what I remember, I think they did a lot of zone stuff with him. He go ahead.
It was January. So it was Courtney Cronin wrote a story about Vikings fire head coach Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman. And the story was dated January 10th of 2022. So he was part of the 2022 draft.
Okay.
So that would have probably not been, not been the carryover there.
That wasn't him. Okay. So in my mind, I was trying to, okay, so is he a guy that knows the system already or whatever? But coincidentally, though, Brian, Clemson do a lot of that zone match stuff.
Yeah, that's where, and you're absolutely right. Yeah. And this is where the scouting report comes in, because to me, I was watching him play, and specifically, I went and made sure I watched the Viking stuff, but I also went back and watched that Clemson stuff, and I'll refresh you on Clemson's deal. I said played a ton of zone coverage at Clemson. Wasn't always challenged. Good quickness with the ability to drive on the ball, plant, come forward in a hurry, 50-50 tackler at times. Saw that the Vikings a little bit, by the way. Missed one in open field against the Titans and then made another one. He runs, he moves well, plays with a burst when he has to carry the receivers inside. I just didn't see him get a lot of opportunities to play the ball in the air.
Sure. Those
were the kinds of things that he was dealing with Clemson, but he's a good look. He's got a good size to him. But people were, and I don't know, I know you follow Twitter. I follow Twitter and all that. People were talking about he played slot. I never saw him play slot at all. I didn't see him play slot at Clemson, and I didn't see him play slot for the Vikings. Yeah. When I was looking at the tape. So maybe I'm missing something there. But the games I watched, he got beat on a double move against the Seahawks. But like I said, a lot of special team stuff, and it's just, to me, it's like, okay, we're moving on from a guy, you're moving on from a guy, and let's see what we get out of this kind of a thing. But you're right about the scheme. The way in Clemson, the way they play is a lot with kind of similar stuff to what Zimmer does.
I always knew him as an outside guy, Brian, but just
I thought he was an outside guy too. And like I say, when I'm watching, I went back but people on Twitter and Twitter drives me nuts sometimes. But I fuel that with some of my stupidity on it as well. But I always felt like that this guy's playing outside. I just college and then with the Vikings as well. So maybe somebody's talking about what they're doing with him now, or what was doing with him this year. That might be something. But people are acting like this guy's a good inside player, and I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I didn't see him playing the position. Not that he can't be a good inside player. I just didn't see him playing the position.
I always get curious about guys that get moved on from her. Like, why are you moving on from Booth? But then what the hell you want Nashawn Wright for? You ain't been watching that film? So I'm just trying, like, maybe they want a long man corner guy, but we'll take the smart zony dude. Maybe that's where they're going with this though, Brian. But just another odd point before we move on though, is the Cowboys have actively traded for somebody in a room where if we got a pocket full of corners, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
And we've acquired some linebackers. And if you reach in the other pocket, you got a pocket full of linebackers over there. Good ones that you feel good about. Some all pros in the damn corner. 2 all pros in the cornerback room.
Yeah.
Don't nobody got no one text they trying to get rid of, man. Like look, Brian, I'm sure if Mazi Smith watched this channel, he's sick of me and you talking about it.
I think there's a lot of people that it's funny. I haven't run into Mazi at camp yet. I can't wait till I'm walking in, and these players are pretty good when you interview them.
Yeah,
they look down at your name tag.
Mm.
They look down at your name tag. So I think if Mazi ever got like in an interview and I walked over there, I'm sure he would take my name tag and probably try and choke me with it. Just one of those things. Yeah, exactly.
He gonna do what, bro?
He gonna choke me with my name tag. But the thing with Mazi, and this, and I don't want to get into it much anymore.
Yeah.
But
he's a first round pick, though, man. That's the only reason we're talking about it. That's the only reason we're talking about it.
This is what pisses me off so bad about this, because you showed me those clips. I went back and watched the clips and watched some more, and I'm like thinking, he's so capable of being a good. I don't need Mazi Smith to be John Randall or Booger McFarland or Haloti Ngata. I don't need him to be that kind of a great type of player. I just need him to be good. I just need him to be down after down consistent. And I'm sure people have heard me on a lot of these platforms. That's my Mazi Smith. I don't hate Mazi Smith. I don't think none of us hate Mazi Smith. But if this defense is going to be good, they need these defensive tackles to play well. I know I've said that too, but I just keep watching him and I'm like, he's so capable of making plays. He's capable of getting off blocks. He's capable of playing with his hands. He's capable of stacking blocks. He's capable. He's not consistent at it. He's just not. Until he becomes consistent about it, we're going to talk about it. It's not hate. It's reality. Sure. I'd love for him to prove me wrong. I'd love for him to be just like Dalton Schultz proved me wrong. Just like Terrence Steele proved me wrong. Just go out there. I just need you to be more consistent. If you show me clips where you're coming off the ball, swim technique, and getting in the backfield and making a tackle or pressuring the quarterback, if you could do it again, and you could do it again, and you could do it again. So that's it about Mazi Smith right now. I hope he plays in this game, and I hope he has some success, because to me, Mazi's a lot about feel. Yeah. He's a lot about how he feels. And if he feels good, there's a chance he's going to make a play. If he doesn't feel good and he's thinking too much, there's a chance that he's going to be bad for 4 straight plays in a row. It's reality right now. I hope I don't like this. I hope he gets the consistency right now. But if he's listening to our show, he absolutely hates me. There's no question.
He don't like me neither, but it's all good though, bro. I just want to, he needs to hear from me. He needs to be a little pissed off, But to your point though, Segway Jones, thank you, sir. The game Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'll be easier to say who's not gonna play. So is this
there's in watching practice today, Voch, there's a lot of young guys stay out for 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Old guys all took a hike.
So is this about superstar old guys, like starter old? Like we're we're likely to see Mazi. He's a starter, but we'll see him. Tyler Guyton's a young guy, we'll see him.
Yeah. There's the offensive line of when I was writing it down, I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, but there's the TJ Bass, even though there's a legitimate player, but you got Bass, Guyton, let's go Ball. That's kind of what we're looking at. Hoffman was kind of lurking. Hoffman, I think, will probably dress.
His ass need to play. Bro.
But I'll tell you what'll happen. Hoffman will dress just in case, but you're gonna get there. They're gonna switch out. I mean, I believe that BB's gonna start at center. And then you'll be in a situation where all of a sudden they're going to switch out Dakota Shipley. Shipley will be the guards maybe sometimes, and then he'll be the center. And they're going to find a rotation, I think, with these inside guys, with Bass, Shipley, BB.
Brian, I hate to cut you off, sir, but what the hell kind of world do we live in where Brock Hoffman can take off a preseason game? What are you saying?
Starting center now. That's why.
Oh, Brock Hoffman has privilege. He get to go sit down with Dak Prescott. He need to be playing just like the rest of these kids.
I think he'll be suited up. I would like to believe that he might start, but I got the impression that this is going to be a Cooper Beebe start. So what I got, I just watch it because they were working on cards today. Voch is what they were doing. So it was like defense was okay. Defense is doing the cards. Here's the offensive line. Here's the backs. You know, the receivers. I mean, it wasn't Tolbert and Cooks. You know, but it was you know, it was all the other cast of characters. You know, when you start talking about that, it's Billy Johnson, it's Cam Johnson, it's Cropper, it's, you know, Ryan Flournoy. That's who they're going to roll out there. Don't look at me like that, man. It's funny how like the Kansas City Chiefs can win back-to-back Super Bowls and they play their stars.
But Brock Hoffman can't go out there and play 5, 10, 12 snaps. Boy, Brian, this made me sick here, man. I thought it was a competition, man. I thought look, this ain't like all pro Tyler Smith. This isn't veteran. If Terrence Steele sat down, that makes sense. You mean to tell me Brock Hoffman then showed you everything you need to see here?
Hey, he's got a sponsor, bro. You know that.
Well, somebody need to go there. Goddamn, Mike Solari need to go if that's what we doing.
Got a sponsor. I
would love to see Austin Richards. He'll probably play. Brian, let me ask you this: How much position flex do you think we're gonna see in this game?
God, I hate that word.
I know you do, but you think we're gonna see Awesome at guard and tackle? You think we're gonna see BB at center and guard? Do you think TJ is gonna play guard and center?
Guard.
TJ's gonna play both guards.
Guard, yeah. And then I think you'll see Ball in there at guard, and Let's go at guard as well.
If Brian
and then also too, I forgot my guy, Earl Bostic.
Okay,
Earl Bostic.
If Bryan Broaddus was in charge and your last name was Jones, you can't get fired. How much do you play Gideon? 60.
Quarter.
1/4. Yeah, I figured. The one thing I really hate about the Gideon situation, how the Cowboys kind of handling it or whatever, you know.
But that is Gideon. See, now
is he healthy?
Telling me, is he healthy? See, and they're trying to get him to the game, but I said pitch count, and I know when I say pitch count, you just kind of laugh at me. But this one's legitimate. If he plays, they're going to try and figure out how many plays that he needs to play.
Yeah.
And then go for that. But if he was healthy and he had been practicing, I would play him a quarter is what I would do.
Yeah. It's just that you know, he has a phenomenal practice versus 11. And the very next day Chuma Doga run out there first. And ever since then he's sick and we don't see him no more. Who do I blame this on? I'm sick of these people, Bryan Broaddus. But you know, I just want to see more from 60. And if we're playing,
I do too.
We're playing the Rams, right?
Right. And maybe I'd like to see the 60 and 56.
Yeah.
56 is going to play a lot. 56 is going to earn his letter jacket in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing a lot of snaps.
There's a clip going around of Jared Verse.
I tell you, I hate clips.
You hate clips. You can't stand them, but Brian, we got to get paid, baby. We got to get paid. There's this clip going around of Jared Verse beating the hell out of Austin Richards, and I would love for Tyler Gideon to go out there and compete with a first round pick partner in Jared Verse and Braden Fisk and all those guys. I would love to see what that looks like. So you say 1/4, I say play him the whole half. We got Myles Garrett coming. We need to get ready. So as long as it is a head cold or a chest cold, which
chest
one?
Cold, chest.
As long as
it's something that's one of those wild chest cold right now.
As long as his lungs is working, he needs some reps because Myles Garrett coming, sir.
Yeah.
We mentioned the wide receivers. Of course, Kalen Carson's gonna get a lot of go here. You have been really high on Nealon lately.
I have.
You consider Nealon to be a starter for you?
He's like Guyton to me. I'd probably play him a quarter.
Yeah.
Play him a quarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I play him a quarter, and then next week I'd play him another quarter, and then in the last week I probably wouldn't play him.
Yeah.
But I would maybe a quarter this week, 2 quarters next week, and then out, because I think he's going to be your starter at right end.
I really love to ask Brian Jones questions. Like if you was in charge and your last name was Brian Jones, I love to ask you these kind of questions because you really do give us some pretty good insight. For example, watch this. Voch asked Brian this: does Trey Lance play the whole game, or do you need to see something from Rush?
You know what? I would play Rush a quarter, and then I would play Lance 3.
Okay. Because I'm out here watching the Pittsburgh Houston game. Go ahead.
Oh, what is who
Fields out there immediately?
He's playing the whole game.
He's probably gonna play. He may sit that last series out or something like that. But I need to figure out, because Trey Lance make a lot of money. I need to figure out what the hell going on with Lance. I may just play him if I'm Voch Jones, I'm playing Trey Lance the whole game because I know what I got to rush.
Okay, now what you have to think about. This is what you have to think about. Okay, how are you liking Trey Lance when it comes to his accuracy and things? I know, just seeing clips and listening to me talk, and I sound like it's improving, and the ball on the outside. He made a really nice throw over the top yesterday. This is where I kind of, maybe that Cooper Rush helps you a little bit. If you're really trying to evaluate those receivers, this is where, and all of a sudden, if you get Trey Lance, what you don't want to get into is a game where it's 3 and out a bunch.
Yeah.
That just crushes your defense. You know, especially these games. These poor guys will, these guys will play the whole damn game. I mean, they will play the whole game on defense. So you got it. Cooper Rush, at least maybe in the first quarter, could find a way to get you maybe 10 points. But you've sustained some drives, you've moved the ball, you've kept your defense fresh somewhat. And then in the second half, it's usually all hell breaks loose. I mean, we've played the Rams before, and you've had a lead in these preseason games, and then somebody comes in there, and what was it, like a Mike Glennon kind of guy comes in there and just like rips you up. But I think that you need, for, like I say, Cooper, give him the work early, see if he can build a little lead, and then throw Trey Lance in there when you kind of have an idea of like, okay, I've evaluated my wide receivers a little bit. I've given Cropper a chance. I've given Billy Johnson another chance. And then you can then you go with Trey Lance, and, you want to evaluate him too.
Yeah.
You want to evaluate him too. But now you've kind of got things where you make it a little bit easier, but you just don't need a bunch of 3 and outs. And maybe Trey Lance won't do that. I mean, maybe he won't, maybe he'll play. Maybe we'll all of a sudden see Trey Lance look like what Dak looked like when they played the Rams in 2016, where all of a sudden, like, remember that game though, Dak, he was so bad in practice, and then all of a sudden,
but he was phenomenal. Yeah, Trey ain't got a phenomenal bone in his body, Brian.
He's throwing the ball to Dez Bryant, and like Dez Bryant had like 7 for 100 and something yards right off the jump. And I was like going, gosh, dang, this guy is a gamer. That Dan Mullen told us, he goes, this Prescott, he can't play with a damn in practice, but in games, he's really good. If
Trey Lance goes out there and throws for 300 yards, we're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to get a lot of views because the media is going to go crazy. But Brian,
I like Trey Lance.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, sure. The only thing that I slightly disagree with you, I'll push back just a little bit. I think the best look you can get for these receivers is for at practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to rely.
I understand.
I'm not relying on Trey and Cooper Rush to give Tyron Billy Johnson a good look in a game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but Dak has given him some pretty good looks.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Dak, you're right. Dak has given Cropper, every time Cropper goes out there, he catches, like, he makes first down catches, and then he also scores touchdowns for you. So yeah, you're right to that. I'd just like to see, get maybe, with Lance, I guess you're really trying to determine, could he be the backup quarterback? Your safety net, this whole thing, your safety net's Cooper Rush. That's your safety net.
Brian.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bryan, I train Muay Thai, right? And sometimes my coach, when we out there fighting and sparring, my coach will say, Voch, don't throw this punch or do that. I just want you to do this, okay? Mm-hmm. And he'll take away my favorite move and he'll make me go do some other stuff that I'm really bad at, right? If my name is Jones and I can't get fired, I'm saying, Trey Lance, you're going to play for 4 quarters, but you can't run. You can't run, because I don't want Trey Lance to lean on athleticism here. I want to make him throw the football. I want him to develop.
We might have some 3 and outs.
Good. Hey, look, that's why your ass playing 4 quarters. And I hope it go overtime, because I'm gonna throw your ass out there again, Bryan. I want Trey Lance to overcome. He's a talented dude, Bryan. He's so talented. It just, quarterback is much more than just physical talent. I want Trey Lance to overcome the clock in his head, his confidence. I want him to overcome the fear of the middle, the fear of outside the numbers. I want him to overcome that. Trey, you go your ass out there and you better not run. I don't even want you to scramble. I want you to figure this out and just hit your receivers. And Trey gonna go out there and throw for 39 yards and we ain't gonna know what the hell to do with him. And we gonna come back on this show mad. But Bryan, I just don't want Trey.
And I'm gonna blame you because you only threw for 39 yards when he could have run for another 139 yards.
Trey could have been the best running back on the team, Bryan. But I don't want him to lean on that, because that's what he's good at. And if he does that, the wide receiver's not gonna get a look anyway. That's true. Make Trey Lance throw the football. And if we get into a regular season game and I don't even want to say it, and Trey go his ass out there, Trey go catch the ball and run, because he gonna miss some reads, Bryan. Let's move on, man. So linebackers, right?
Yeah,
we got a lot of them. We have plenty of linebackers.
Those guys are gonna, Leofau, Overshown, those guys are all gonna get opportunities. I'm excited about, like I said, I don't think you're gonna see very much of Kendricks at all, but these other ones, like I say, you've got some guys. I mean, heck, Nick Virgil, I saw him getting work today. He's probably going to play. Jason Johnson, Willie Harvey, Buddy Johnson. I mean, it sounds like a band, Buddy Johnson's band.
The Buddy Johnson band.
The Buddy Johnson band's going to be out there.
That's fire. That's funny.
Can you imagine, like, say, the Buddy Johnson band with Nick Virgil on drums?
What a name!
I'm saying,
damn.
But these guys are, they're going to get a lot of work and good, and that's perfect. That's these guys need to work, and I'll throw another guy out there, that Albert Huggins, the defensive tackle they signed from Atlanta. He got some work yesterday, but they've got a lot of spots. They've got a lot of spots, and tomorrow's Sunday's the first opportunity that maybe you're like, didn't think about this guy, or it could be like, I've seen enough of this guy, we're moving on. That's what you can get.
So when I was thinking about the first group that they may possibly run out there, I didn't know what to do with Chauncey, because this whole offseason Chauncey's been the backup 3, but the last couple of days it seemed like Chauncey went back to end. So the first guys out there, right? It's probably going to be Nealon. Osa probably won't be playing. Mazi will be there. Like, where's Fehoko going to play? Where's Chauncey going to play? I still got a lot of questions about where these dudes are going to be. Tyrus Wheat's probably going to be the first edge out there or something like that. Sure, but Chauncey and Viliami, look, Bryan, I haven't seen not one clip of Viliami. Like I saw one clip. He just lost to Josh Ball. I haven't seen a positive clip from Viliami yet. What's going on with him, and where is he going to play?
Yeah, the thing about it is where he was so explosive when you watched him at San Jose State. And you could kind of tell, through the tape. It's like, I get what Dan Quinn was trying to do. He was thinking, okay, I got this kid that can play edge. I personally, I don't like him at defensive tackle. I just don't. I think him having to take on blocks and the way that he plays, it takes away from his quickness, that the things that he could do as an edge. Play him wide, you let him run, you let him get around the corner. He's really, in my opinion, playing out of position. I know somebody will probably hear this, watch this video, and they'll say, you're full of S, Bryan. And I'm like, okay, fine. But I just kind of feel like that where he was really good was his ability to play on the edge. I just don't see that. taking on those blocks and having to do what he does inside, it doesn't seem like a very good fit for him. Because once he gets engaged, it's hard for him to get off those blocks. Yeah. And you'll see him fight, but it's just I don't think he's strong enough to sit in there and hold those blocks like you. Now, the 3 techniques, you want to get him up the field, but boy, he's had trouble getting up the field in some of these situations.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he's not like a big guy neither. He's
not a big guy, no.
And Brian, look, it's funny because the one rep I saw, he was against Josh Ball. In your mind, you'll go, "Oh, he's at end because he's going against Josh Ball." But I don't know what the hell Josh Ball played. Josh Ball probably playing center nowadays. I mean, he's
playing guard. And you know what? And this is funny, Voch. Yesterday there were 2 guys that really showed up when it came to the one-on-ones, because if you watch the clips, there were times when Austin Richardson, those guys, it was bad. There was some bad stuff going on. I know the Josh Ball, I'm saying, Matt Let's Go didn't look great. Ball, he wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible. I know. I can see him in the air tonight. No, it can't. Not that close. Not that close.
You say Josh Ball did what?
If you go and watch the clips, gosh, I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But here's Bryan Broaddus making the walkthrough practice seem like it was the Super Bowl practice. But there was like with BB Ball, there were a couple of times where it was like, okay, knee bend, extend, keep the guy from the quarterback. Where the others, it was a struggle. I mean, a real struggle with that. And so but like I said, Josh Ball is Josh Ball.
How did he keep his job longer than Nahshon Wright? It's crazy to me, but
well, they're all in that same boat. That boat is kind of taking on water now, and so Let's Go. Those guys are kind of in that final. I mean, we saw with Izzy's over there standing by me now, Izzy's he sees what's going on, really does. Players do that. They get going into practice, and they see a veteran player, they see what's happening to them, and they're thinking, okay, how can I maybe get a game check out of this one, or 2 game checks? Maybe they'll put me on injured reserve, and that's maybe what we're looking at right now.
Brian, I got one more question that's kind of interesting. It seems like a very low-hanging fruit, surface level question, but I think we can get a little information out of this, sir. 2-part question. Do you think Turpin is one of those veteran doesn't need to be doing preseason stuff guys? And then we can imagine Cropper's going to be a kick return guy.
Right.
Deuce is hurt. But David Durden was the other return guy the other day at practice.
He sure was.
Man, what if David Durden found a way to make himself useful up in here in the same kind of way that Jalen Cropper might? I think your first 2 return guys tomorrow or Sunday is probably going to be Cropper and Durden, because I don't think they want to risk Turpin, and Vaughn is hurt. So Durden and Cropper, you think any of these, they're competing basically, right, to possibly be the second or third return guy to possibly make the team, right?
Right. Yeah, if you've got Goodwin as your special teams ace on the defensive side, who's your offensive special teams guy? And maybe I'll tell you the thing about Durden. That son of a gun, he finds ways to get open. He catches the ball really well. He's good in tight spaces. Yeah. You're right about him. He was working on the punt return stuff the other day. I was watching, just catching them, and then he was on the kickoff return stuff. The guy has a little bit of burst to his game. You never know who shows up. All of a sudden, they're doing these kickoffs and the kickoff returns, and he's taking them, and now the ball's, like I keep saying, is at the 48-yard line, or it's past midfield, and he keeps bringing it back. I do believe that Turpin's your guy.
Yeah.
But who's the second guy?
Who's the second guy, Brian? Yeah.
Who's the second guy? And they're talking about putting 2 guys back there, but you've got to find a way. If they're going to bring you to the game, they can't bring you to the game just to be just to be the the second kickoff return guy. You've got to figure out what other things can you do. Can you play on the kickoff coverage team? Can you play on the punt team? Can you do what other things can you do? Because Bill Parcells taught me that. It's like, hey, if I take you to the game and you're one of the 48, how many plays are you going to give me a game? I don't need you to give me 3 plays. I need you to give me 10, 12 plays a game. That's what I need. I'm not going to address you if you're just doing 3 kickoff returns.
Yeah.
But he's a very capable. I watched him work out with Britt Brown on the cords and stuff, and I kind of thought, And Bobby Belt swears. Bobby's like, Bryan, I'm telling you, he would have made the team last year. Bobby Belt was adamant about that until he got hurt. He was going to make this team, and I don't remember it that way. I don't remember it, but Bobby's got some really good insight with what's going on with some of this stuff. And he was saying, they really like this Durden, Bryan. They like him a lot.
Yeah.
But if he shows up to answer your question, is he better? I can't imagine anybody that's had for the down the line receiver guys.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody that's played any better than Cropper has. I really can't. But Durden, he shows up. He absolutely shows up when they throw him the football.
Second return man is going to make this very, very interesting and worth talking about because, because these guys are like way down the roster guys. David Durden, Jalen Cropper, Deuce Vaughn, they're way down the roster. And you would have to carry an extra running back if Deuce is your second return guy, or you would have to be like, all right, even if Tyron Billy Johnson is a better receiver right now, he's not a return guy, he's not a teams guy. Right. You have to add Cropper to that guy. So I think the bottom of the roster is getting really weird. Go ahead.
No, and you're right, man. Everything you were saying is absolutely right. And the problem is you've got a guy like Ezekiel Elliott that doesn't play no special teams at all. I mean, how many guys do you have dressed that don't play any special teams at all? Yeah. That's going to be, how many guys can you carry like that? The roster is already tight enough as is. And so, but it's going to be a fight. Cropper, Durden, there'll be a fight with those guys of that final receiver spot. And I'm interested because like I said, Cropper has done everything you can do to make this football team so far. Yeah. Everything he has. So we'll see. He's got a game on. All of a sudden you show up and you got, 4 catches for 58 yards or 60 something yards, and you do it again. He's been consistent. He's the one receiver. I mean, there's receivers, but he's the one of the down the line guys that every day has shown up. Every single day he's shown up and made plays, and that's a hard thing to turn away from when you're looking at the bottom of the roster players like you're talking about.
It's a horrible time for Vaughn to be hurt, so we'll see how that goes.
That is really bad, really bad.
We'll see. Bryan, man, they roll those young guys out there, and I was like, man, what we gonna talk about, man? We ain't got nothing to talk about, but man, we just pros. We just figure it all out. Huh?
You got to figure it all out. Like I said, keep an eye on Guyton. That's going to be, I don't say a game time decision, but they're going to try and ramp him up for that. Hopefully, they'll get him some snaps in this game, and I would anticipate that that you're going to see a lot of the young guys on both sides of the ball, and I'm excited about the offensive line. Especially when it pertains to Cooper Beebe and those guys getting a lot of work. I want to see a lot of Cooper Beebe work. I'll see another one. I want to see TJ Bass, because TJ Bass has not had a great camp. There's been times where TJ Bass, I'm like, plug and play, let's go. Oh, he's a replacement for Zach Martin. There's been some times where TJ Bass has not been very good. Mm-hmm. I think TJ Bass needs to get back on there and kind of solidify his spot as that swing guard, that when something happens and before the game, he can go in there and play at a good level.
Are you pardon me, radio Sunday? Are you gonna be doing radio Sunday for the game, pre and post?
No, I'm gonna do pre and post. So yeah, I'll be on the tennis court for pre and post. Looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun.
Brian's going to do pre and post on 105.3 The Fan, and Voch is going to be going live watching the game. So y'all can flip between both of us, and we'll be breaking it all down for you, and we'll come back Monday or something and talk about it. All right. Appreciate y'all for being here. Love y'all to peace. Brian, thank you so much. I know you be tired and exhausted, man, but you find a little energy for me, man. I'm grateful for that. All right. And y'all can follow him on his social medias, Bryan Broaddus, and y'all can follow me on mine, but I ain't gonna say nothing until like the regular season. So y'all know how I go. All right. Any closing words, Brian? Like you had something to say? You good?
All good.
Brian's good. Y'all hold it down, man. We'll catch y'all next time. Love you. Crown.